Hello, my people. Hola, mi gente. Welcome. Bienvenidos to another episode, otro episodio de Hoy En Día TV. I'm your host and producer, Yessie Rodriguez. Bringing on to the stage my two amazing co-hosts. We have Dr. Cece, the actionist, and Nadine Barton, entrepreneur, and also action-oriented as well. So, hey, we're all action-oriented here. Hello. ¿Cómo están? Nadine, what was that face? You were like,
muy bien. Feeling good.
How are you guys doing? Happy Thursday.
Jueves.
Yes, I love that. Happy terrific Thursday. Absolutely. You know what, sis? I'm gonna be honest with you. This pollen came out of nowhere. Like coming back from the beach, it was great because we were by the beach, the water, we didn't feel. And as soon as I got home, my whole car turned yellow and it's red. And then I woke up with one eye swollen shut from the pollen. I had to do like a bunch of eye washes. Thankfully, I have like the eye wash that I keep it in the house because I know every year, like clockwork, it doesn't fail when pollen comes out. My whole eye is just. So yeah, that's how. You know what? The times I've used Flonase, it doesn't do anything for me, so I just stopped using it. So pretty much everything that I've tried, even going to the ear, nose, and throat specialist, doesn't do anything for me. Unfortunately, It's one of those things where I just have to take it on the chin and just do the best I can to kind of treat the symptoms until it kind of passes. And thankfully, because this is day 3 now since coming back, we came back Monday, and I'm better today. But it took a lot of like eye washing. And then last year, I remember going to an ophthalmologist that prescribed a special eye drop. So it's a tiny bottle, which helped. And I remember that I had that. But yes, I'm battling with allergies. Yippee, yayo.
Yeah, I get it really bad, especially when I was in Florida. I didn't even know I had allergies that bad. But oh my God, it was horrible. And then when I came here the very first year, it was like off and on. But for some reason, voila. I'm not going to say I'm good. I'm not going to jinx it, but I can't remember the last time I had like a real bad allergy attack. My allergies were horrible.
I was first introduced to, I say introduced because when I moved to California, in San Diego, I was like, what is happening to my body right now? I literally want to pull my eyeballs out and scrub them on concrete. That's how bad they were itching. My body, my throat was itching, my ears were itching, my eyes were watering, my nose. I thought people probably thought like I was a drug addict because I was always, doing the nose action thing. It was so bad. And then I did like the allergy test where they, put all these things on your back, and I was allergic to everything outdoors, to pollen, to trees, to grass, to mites, to you name it. I was allergic, and I like being outside, and I was allergic to everything, but I don't have it as bad as my brother. He showed me some pictures here the other day, and like even here at our house in North Carolina, he doesn't like go outside. He doesn't, not even to take the trash out. He was like, sis, I love you, but I'm not taking the trash. Like he will not, even we open the door for him to get in because he doesn't want to touch it. I mean, if it gets in his eyes, much like you, yes, it closes shut. He has to get like warm water and compresses to get his eyes just so they can open because of just all of the drainage and stuff. But he showed me a picture and his eyes were so swollen. Oh my gosh. And they were closed shut. So he knows when it comes on. So, he has to get the shot. Like he has to get the shot because it gets that. And he still takes the pills too. So there is a shot that you can take to kind of help with all the be an antihistamine and stuff like that to block all the stuff. 2, I think our allergies and the pollen is worse because 2, you got to deal with Mother Nature doing her thing, but then also humans messing with the weather and all that kind of stuff, and the chemtrails and all of that stuff being pushed in our atmosphere. So it's like a double whammy, and you're struggling to breathe. You're struggling, right, to see, and you just want to scrape your skin off because it's just so itchy. I'm so sorry. I'm like, man, I normally kind of get the itchy throat, and I'll like pop. I do Zyrtec. Zyrtec does kind of work for me. I use a Flonase like on the really bad days, and I do know the drops you're talking about because I have those medicated drops. It is to help with all the itchiness and to kind of just lavage things out of your eye and stuff like that. So yeah, love it. Hey, spring is here. Spring is here.
Try the he tried the Allegra. Allegra I think works better than Zyrtec.
Allegra. Okay. Right now I'm on Claritin D and it helps with my congestion. mildly itchiness. But the eye drops and the eye washes have been helping with that. But I'll definitely consider Allegra. And then, sis, when we get off, I want to learn more about that shot that you're telling me or you're sharing that your brother takes, because I'm curious to talk to my ENT about that and see if
Yeah,
that's something I can consider.
I went
absolutely.
and used some Lysol like 2 days ago and wiped down my door handle, my front door, because all that stuff, the green stuff. I went to wash down my yard, on my backyard today, and oh my God, it was so gross.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I walked out in the yard just to because like the grass is still brown, right? The green's trying to come, but it's still brown. So I just had some little sprays, kind of just up some little sprigs, and I just took the mower, But I'm telling you, my whole feet, my pants, they were yellow. They were straight. I had like rinse off and everything. It was just straight yellow. And I had a mask on. I made sure I had a mask on, and I put on my sunglasses and stuff. My brother has to wear actual like the goggles that suction because you can't, it's bad. Like, so he was like, I don't go outside. He's like, I'm on house arrest for Mother Nature.
That's crazy.
That's actually really genius. I'm gonna have to consider that and like probably like get some really cute goggles and bling them out and like make it my own little trendy style. You gave me an idea there. That is awesome. Well, that's for me. And then over the weekend, I had a chance to celebrate my birthday again with my loved ones. Cece was able to join us, yay! But Nadine, we definitely missed you. But we knew that you were there in spirit because you and I were able to communicate. The three of us actually communicated over the phone. So,
But I
but
did
it
have
was,
a drink with you though.
huh?
I had a birthday drink with you, remember?
You did. You really did. And I appreciate that. Yes. But it was just beautiful just to feel loved and celebrated for almost a week, actually. Like it took me even coming back from like the vacation, like the day of last Wednesday celebrating, right? And then from there, celebrating again with the surprise gathering my cousin had. And then the next day going to the beach and then celebrating up until Monday. It was like, oh, I'm loved. I love it. That's so
A
beautiful. Thank
week.
you.
You're supposed to celebrate for the whole month. Hello.
True, you're right. But I would love to, but gosh, I mean, everything that I do will be really behind schedule. They'll be like knocking, like, hello, Yossi, where are you?
Right, right.
But no, I would definitely love that. But you know what? It's okay because we're gonna have plenty of more opportunities to do other things, other gatherings, and the way I see it as I age and progress is not always necessarily about birthdays, but it's about taking the time each and every time that you have those moments with loved ones, with people you love and care about, whether it be friends, family, to really embrace it, cherish it. Like Bad Bunny says, you gotta take more pictures, right? Debe tirar más fotos. Take big pictures, take videos, all of that really matters because once we're gone, you have that to lean on to really remember, like, wow, I remember when that happened or when this happened, right? So, yeah.
I love that. I love that. The memories are huge. Relationships are huge. I love it. So yeah, make your memories, y'all. Make your memories.
Absolutely. But enough about me. How about you all? I want to know, like, what happened in your last week, even though Cece, I know a glimpse of what happened with your last week because you were hanging out with me.
Yes, so all is well here. Like I had a great time with you, with the gang, meeting new people and stuff. And it was just really good camaraderie, just good people, good times, good music. Y'all, we were doing salsa, merengue, bachata, you name it. Here's the thing that I love about like the Spanish, right? The music, right? You get an exercise. It's a whole workout. Okay, we were getting abs, we were getting hips, we were getting thighs. I'm trying to tell you, y'all, it was I was like, there's a benefit to this music, okay?
Right.
We ain't just dancing. We dancing for our health, okay? But it was so much fun, and then the weather was just amazing. The beach was super cool. It wasn't overcrowded. It was just perfect, My kiddo, he was picking up all these seashells. He was like, Mommy, oh, this is a gem. This is, this is going to be worth like $900. I'm like, okay, baby, let's get. So he's on the beach getting all the shells and stuff. I loved it. It was just a really good time out in Mother Nature. And like, yes, he said, we weren't dealing with the pollen. If we were, it was like on the water away from us, but we could breathe easy. We weren't itching or any of that stuff. It was super, super cool. So I really enjoyed that. I really, really did. So thank you for the invite because it was amazing. I loved it.
Oh, that was
Nadine, what were
beautiful.
you going to say?
I said, oh, that was beautiful. But there'll be times when I'll celebrate with you all. But it's all good. I mean, I was there in spirit.
Yes, you were. And we love you. And we love
Me
you.
too.
Absolutely.
Me
So
too.
any fun plans planned for the spring for you ladies? Any, once we get past this pollen, and all of that, right? We can breathe again. You guys got anything planned for the spring and summer?
I don't not off the top of my head. I know you guys have the event. We don't wait, we create. See, I wore the shirt. But and I know after that I do have a premiere coming out. But other than that, just grinding as always, What about you,
I
Yessie?
love
What's
it.
your plan?
Mm-hmm.
What is Yessie? Is she frozen?
I think she's frozen.
Oh.
Oh, there it is.
I was
There
for a
you
bit. I don't know what's happening. My browser. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm back. It was like
Yeah.
lagging on my end. I can hear y'all and see y'all, but it was just weird. I don't know what was happening. But yes, you're right. We have the We Don't Wait, We Create. And then sis, you said you have an event the following day, your premiere, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Let me refresh my browser. I'll be right back. You all stay on, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Absolutely.
Hold on one second. I'll be right back. Y'all stay
Yes,
on.
yes.
Okay.
So on a bit of a sad note, we'll bring it back up. We lost a dear friend. It's my godchildren's their father. He passed away in a road rage incident. And I just want to encourage people out there, y'all. Don't road rage. It's not worth it. He lost his life because he was carrying, the other person was carrying all of these things. And I don't have all of the details, but he lost his life and that's enough. And so, just when people are road raging, just keep your calm, keep your wits about yourself. Don't engage, right? It takes more strength to disengage and to not be a part of confrontation, and conflict when things arise. It takes more strength. People may look at you sideways and think that you're weak, but just remember, it always takes more strength to diffuse and to not engage, with those types of conflicts. So road rage is a real thing. I used to be a road rager, just screaming and yelling, you know what I'm saying? So much better now. I found some coping mechanisms where I listen to audiobooks when I'm driving, or, I just try to say, I want to get home safe to my family, and this person's not worth it just because maybe they may be late trying to get somewhere. That's typically when it happens, when you're running late. Give yourself enough time to get to where you need to go. I've been on the other side of that, running late and just screaming and yelling at people. Not a good look, not proud of it. But thank God, I'm able to say now that I don't do that. So I just disengage. I listen to audiobooks or positive music or something, right, to try to keep my mind. And people do, they cut you off, they do stuff. And I just say, hey, maybe they're in a rush, maybe they're trying to get somewhere. And I actually pray for the people. I do, because they don't realize that they're putting their lives in jeopardy, but also all the other drivers on the road. And everybody just wants to make it to their destination safely. So just check yourselves when you're getting to that point to where you're like, this person's awful or whatnot. Just give them grace. Just extend some grace and extend some mercy on that. Road rage, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible, sis. And I'm so sorry for your loss. I mean, I come to the realization that you scream and yell, the other person in the car, they cannot hear what you're saying at all. So just don't say anything. I mean, just take a breather, like you said, and just keep on moving. Just change lanes, do what you have to do, but don't engage.
And I'm sorry, y'all. I came late refreshing my browser and I missed most of the conversation. So what happened, sis?
Yeah, a friend of ours, my friend, my god babies, their dad was murdered in a road rage incident. So I'm not really sure who engaged in what, but they were both pursuing each other, and everybody was strapped. And so it was like a whole, from the gist that I've got, I don't know all of the details. It was a shootout, and he lost his life, and so it just wasn't worth it.
Did that happen in Florida? Where did that happen?
In Jacksonville, Florida. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. That's wow. That's not. there's too many people losing their lives unnecessarily. And it's like, my whole thing is, I really wish that there would be more gun restrictions, because half these people should not be having no guns at all. And I get it as part of the amendment, the right to bear arms and what have you, but half these people shouldn't be bearing arms because I'm local up here. So it's like, how are you going to bear arms if you ain't right upstairs?
Yeah. Local, like you said, local.
Yeah. My mom was telling me in Wisconsin, 2 incidents. One incident, a person went wounded to the ER, and the other person, because estaban loco, they went inside the ER room in front of all these people and finished the job and murdered the person in front of everybody. Right. And then the other incident in an apartment building, it wasn't road rage, but it was like the apartment building, the people down upstairs were too loud, so there was a confrontation, and their egos felt they needed to take it outside, so they started at a fist fight. The other person lost, and they felt some type of way. Their ego was wounded, so they felt the need to take a gun and kill the other person, and it turned catastrophic. And it's like, really? Like, really? Ha. So yeah, I say that to say, again, these politicians should really consider doing something. Like, I get that people have the right to bear arms, but make sure that these people are mentally stable up here before they get that, whether it be restricting them to get some sort of license or permit, just something to make sure that they're right upstairs before allowing them to.
Yeah. I think that I think they should be vetted, like you're saying, to check their mental health, just to kind of make sure people are with it, that they can be responsible, because like you say, there are some unhinged people out there that will just default to the gun. It's always a default. Like, oh, you dropped my peanut butter jelly sandwich, I'm going to kill you. Like, it could be some, you know what I'm saying? But it's so minor, they take it to the extreme. And so there needs to be a vetting process, because I don't think there's any kind of vetting process right now. But there needs to be some kind of mental health vetting process before they just issue people a gun. I agree. I believe that people should have a right to bear arms. It's all constitutional rights, but there should be some safeguards in place, like you're saying, to check these people, just to make sure that they are fit, right? To be able to bear these arms, to be responsible. We vet so many other things, right? To make sure that there's safeguards in place. So there definitely needs to be something, because the human life, humans don't value human life.
They don't.
You know what I'm saying? Some people value animals' lives more than human lives. You know what I'm saying? It's really sick and really twisted. It's like an upside down world that we're living in. And that needs to change. And it's just because of we're so disconnected. We're like so far detached from reality sometimes, I think it seems, and everybody's struggling with no one to talk to really listen. And sometimes you just need that. A lot of times you just need that. Just people to listen and to acknowledge and to see you, right? The other person. So there definitely needs to be some vetting processes, because it's all just gone too far.
But here's the thing, sis, they could be right up there. They don't have anything in their medical record, but if they have anger issues, it's not going to be shown when they get checked out.
Or how like we have the mental health
checks. They're in a gang, or they just want to show out to their friends, like, oh, I'm this big bad wolf. Oh, here, see me roar, or whatever. You know what I mean? So this is just a crazy world we're living in. It's just unfortunate, and I'm just, I don't even want to go outside sometimes. It's ridiculous, because dealing with humanity at times is crazy.
It's hard. It's tough. But you know how they have the DSM, like the manual, and how they check people off for depression or anxiety, anger, whatever. There are different measures that's created, I'm sure, or can be created, because we created those, to measure whether or not a person is stable or mentally fit. There's questions to ask. Of course, people can cheat and scam and scheme on the test too. You know what I'm saying? People are very smart, very, very conniving and shrewd and slick. And so that can happen too. But I mean, we got to try something, right? We got to do something. We do.
Right. right? And see, it's one of those things where it's like me being solution oriented and like looking at root causes. Like I've shared with you all in past shows, right? It's one of those things where it's like, in the perfect world, future state, hopefully a politician or even President Trump is listening. We should consider mandating birth control, to be honest with you. Because what happens here, if a child is born into a broken home, because right now everybody's free willy-nilly having kids, if it's a broken home, guess what's going to happen? That mentality is going to be broken, right? The broken are the broken, or what's that old saying, the hurt people. It is going to be like the hamster wheel effect, hurt people. At what point is that going to change, right? Mm-hmm. And so with mandating birth control, if we vet the process and say, hey, this family, whether it be a young woman, a man, whoever, the couple that wants to have a child, is mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, and able to take care of a child and grow a healthy, loving child and well-being in a loving home, then that will reduce the number of issues like this, casualties, right? Because at that point, this individual, this child, is a product of their environment. If their environment is loving and caring, has positive restrictions, so to speak, where you are getting positive affirmations, or even you are what's that word when you are trying to, I guess, reprimand in a productive way your child, they'll learn right from wrong, versus a child growing into a broken home or growing from a broken home, going into the foster system because their parents can't afford them, their parents are not all the way there, they're young kids, right? I know several young kids who were like 13, 14 having kids in the streets, had zero business having kids. Now this 13, 14-year-old became a parent. They have zero clue about what they're doing. Now their poor kid, guess what happens? Now they became gang members. I don't know if you remember me telling you those two situations of those elementary school kids that I went to that one became America's Most Wanted and was murdered because his parents were part of a gang. And then the other one is locked up in jail. That's just two examples of the many that I know. So I say that to say, if we start from root cause, from an upbringing, to say, hey, product of your environment, growing up, then I really, really know in my gut that what we see, the casualties, the people going crazy, the road rage, shooting in ER rooms, that's going to reduce because we're going to see more positivity in their lives because they are growing up in loving and structured homes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy. You mentioned something about the age, and it's a little bit off topic, but I literally watched the video yesterday or the day before, and a lady was getting arrested. I don't know what city, what town they were in. She was getting arrested because the little boy decided to walk to the store. I don't know if like in New York, we go to the bodega, the corner store, and we, when we're kids, we roam the street and we walk, go to the store by ourselves. The lady, the police came and arrested the lady because the 13-year-old went to the store by himself. Yeah.
What the age restrictions are, but I think 13 is a decent age to kind of go, depending on how far the store is, right? To be able to walk down the street, to go to the store. I remember as a kid, we walked to the candy stores all the time, and I was much younger than 13 years old. I was 10, 11 years old, you know what I'm saying? Walking to, but I know it was, it was still crime. It's crime in every era. So it just gets worse, as we continue to live and just be these inventors of all these evil things. So, yeah, but yeah, I don't know what that was about with the woman being arrested. I really don't know with that. With the mandate for the birth control, I don't agree with that per se. I get where you're trying to go, but when you begin to mandate certain things on my free will as a human being, it's almost like, the COVID, right? Saying you got to take this COVID injection when nobody knew what COVID was going to do to anybody. We are and were the guinea pigs with this vaccination to help prevent. How I don't know, but anyway, people infringe and say you got to do this, and if you don't do this, then, and we saw it, military members were kicked out, people were fired from their jobs, all these types of things, and that brought hardship to the family. I don't believe anybody's rights, from having a child should be taken away. However, I do completely understand where you're coming, because there are people out there that should not be parents because they're not responsible, because they're abusers, because of the broken homes and the things in which you're talking. It's important for us, because we're here in America, right? So I'll speak for America. I really say the whole world, honestly, but to get back to the foundation of family and to raise, because some people in the, everybody has different rules and morals and values in their own home. And in your home, you might say, I'm going to raise my child to believe in a higher power and to do good and to, give back to society and get an education. And then there are other people in their homes and they say, well, we too are going to have, good morals and values, which may be very different from what your morals and your values are, but they still think that they're good people too. And we might see, a flaw in the two. Like they're saying, well, we're going to serve the devil, just saying, right? And we're going to serve, a higher God, a good God. Like we're going to serve bad over here, and we're going to serve good over here. And they're thinking like the bad over here is really, really good, right? And the good people are thinking, oh, the good over here is really, really good. Where they both may be off, right? Just because they have different mindsets and viewpoints and how they desire to raise their families and stuff like that. One family might say, hey, we like to sacrifice and cut ourselves and do different things. They might think that's completely normal and healthy and, and whatever. And where the other side. So I'm just thinking like the whole mandate thing on a reproductive matter, right? Because people even yet now, fight to have abortion. They fight to kill kids, right? To make it legal. And that has happened. And so now, we're changing that whole paradigm, right? With things. So, but I do believe it is everyone's responsibility as a society, as a good human being. I'm saying like good, like not harming other people, practicing the golden rule, right? Helping each other, extending grace and mercy and kindness and helping people be better, right? This utopian society, so to speak, right? That will make a better country when we are not pushing people into the projects or these ghettos where the system is created to suppress and to oppress them to where, they're trying to survive. So then therefore they're making dangerous decisions just for survival. So it's a different mindset. Would they be more capable if they weren't living in the different barrios where there is poverty and disease and crime and war, even because there's war in some of these cities, right? They're fighting every day, killing people every day, right? But if they were given the same tools as some of our more affluent communities, right, they would make better choices. So I believe it's more of a mindset and a people kind of coming together in totality to say like, hey, we want to make you a better person. And these are the tools to help make you a better person. We're going to get you into, affordable housing, right? All these developers are building I see people developing stuff every single day and they're saying affordable housing, but it's not affordable. When you're charging, like here in North Carolina, they might be charging, $1,700, $1,800, $2,000 for rent. But you're not really making that kind of money here in this area. You know what I'm saying? It depends on where you live and stuff. So I think it's more of an educational and a caring thing, like showing up, making the programs actually work, holding the people accountable where they have these healthy families. Because we have healthy families all around the US, but are they really healthy? No, because I volunteered with this organization and not to say all of them, but in the program that I was volunteering with, the workers there were not really even trying to help the people that they were supposed to help. And that broke my heart. And I see that time and time again, not just with them, but also with different military organizations that are in play to help veterans and stuff. And who do you normally see on the streets that's homeless? Veterans. And that shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? So it's like a whole dynamic, but I completely get what you're saying, because I know some people are just really just messed up and you just want to prevent it. You know what I'm saying? If you could just shut that wound down. You know what I think would really make things better, y'all? It's for the men to have the babies. Because I'm telling you, if a man had to have a baby, okay, look, the population gonna be population 1, okay? Because
listen, I've seen videos where like the sisters had the brother simulated like menstrual pain. So if they go that crazy for menstrual pain, how are they gonna deal with childbirth? They were screaming.
Yeah. I will say this conversation is super juicy, so we're definitely gonna have to bookmark this because there's so much more that I want to say, but I want to be respectful of our guests, and I'm sure Nadine, you have some stuff you want to chime in too. So let's bookmark this for next week. Let's remember to bring this back up because this is a really juicy conversation and it affects our day to day, right? Especially because we see friends or close loved ones. And your example, Cece, with the road rage, that was one of your friends' spouse, hearing about what my mom shared. This happens, right? And so the politicians obviously are not creative. So it takes people like us to be creative. What solutions can we even consider, right? Because they need more ideas, obviously, because right now they're just getting paid to twiddle their thumbs, and the whole TSA shutdown, that's another conversation. But let's do this. I'm going to go on a quick sponsor break, and then Cece, when we come back, would you introduce our guest, and then we can bring our guest on? Awesome. All right, don't go anywhere. We will be right back with Hoy En Dia TV.
A bold builder of people, purpose, and platforms, Girls with Gigs helps high performers and those desiring to achieve more shift mindsets and activate purpose. Whether it's career or leadership development, personal branding, or knowing your worth, in the job market, transformation has never been closer because this is where purpose meets action and dreams become destiny. Book your free consultation today at www.girlswithgigs.com.
Dream, explore, discover with Nadine's Travel Oasis. Your next adventure is just a booking away. From breathtaking beaches to vibrant cityscapes, we handle the details so you can make the memories. Luxury, leisure, or last-minute getaways, we've got you covered. Book today and let Nadine's Travel Oasis take you places.
Are you looking for the perfect shirt for that special occasion? At Collective Custom Wear, we bring your vision to life. From weddings, family reunions, anniversaries, or casual outing with friends, express yourself with your unique style and leave a memorable mark. Order now. Our custom shirts are designed just for you.
Yes, we have amazing sponsors. Shout out to Girls with Gigs, Inspire for Purpose. If you still don't know your purpose, it's a-okay because a lot of people don't. But guess what? Reach out to Dr. CC and drop the action list. Yeah, she will help you get that right and she will walk you through it. So yes. Also, I get it with travel. A lot of people are a little sketched like, the whole TSA, long lines. But guess what? The key here is that I have a feeling things are going to change. And I'm sure Nadine, she might have more details. She might have the inside scoop since she specializes in travel, right? But nevertheless, booking early is key because it helps you get better rates, better options, possibly better deals, because nowadays we just don't know with everything happening. But if you have any questions with regards to travel and you want to get something booked up, definitely reach out to Nadine with Travel Oasis. And also, we have people celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, gatherings, etc., work reunions, right? Definitely get your shirts, Collective Custom Wear. We got you right. So there you go. All right. Without further ado, we can introduce our guest.
Excellent. So with over 30 years of experience in leadership, health, and wellness, Warlesea R. Fatta has made it her life's work to empower others, especially women, to reclaim their health, confidence, purpose, and finances. Through holistic coaching, her signature Feel Great protocol, and her soon-to-launch Health Accountability Club, which has already actually launched, y'all. She's going to tell us more about that, okay? She helps people over 45 transform from the inside out. As the founder of Lesea's Healthy Outlook and SheReigns Academy, where Lesea equips others with the tools to heal their bodies, lead with intention, and grow thriving businesses. A recognized force in leadership, Warlesea was honored as a finalist for the 19th Annual Athena Leadership Award and inducted into the Leadership Women's Hall of Fame. Yes. She currently serves as president of the Moore County chapter of Holistic Professionals of Color, which is HPOC, where she leads a team of health partners and continues to champion inclusive health and education and community-based wellness. She is also the founder of Take Flight, which is a nonprofit organization supporting women, children, and their pets escaping abuse. Her mission is deeply personal and powered by faith, resilience, and purpose. And without further ado, for part 2, let's welcome Warlesea Fatta.
Thank you.
Yes, so good to see you again. Yes.
You. I was just sitting here enjoying the conversation that you all having me.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We're happy to have you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate being back. Thank you for having me back.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again, like Nadine and Cece shared. And my $1,000,000 question that I usually start the conversation with is, you have an amazing, robust bio. You're doing so many wonderful things. But in a nutshell, who do you say you are?
Oh my goodness. In a nutshell, I am woman. So I would say that I am the woman who does so many different things. I am the mother. I am the entrepreneur. I am the wife. So, and I just want to be able to be there to identify with all types of women in all walks of life. And that's who I am.
That is amazing. Yes, yes. I do have a list of questions, but I'm going to allow Nadine to start with her questions, and we'll follow with Cece, and then I'll ask my questions.
Okay.
Okay, so welcome back, Madame. You're looking lovely as always.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Yes. So let me see. Let me go down my list of questions. I won't ask you a lot.
Okay, not a problem.
So yeah. So what's the biggest mindset shift women over 45 need to truly transform their lives?
In order to truly transform their lives, the mindset change that have to take place is that they don't have to do everything today. Everything does not have to get done today. There's always tomorrow. So itemizing what needs to be done today, what really has to be done today, usually it's just 2 or 3 things. We put 30 things on our plate. So we need to just say, hey, 2 or 3 of these things really need to get done, and get those things done. And then tomorrow you can do the other things that need to get done. But just don't put so much on your plate today, because what happens is we know as women, we are very quickly to say, oh, I didn't do that, or I failed, or, oh my goodness, what's wrong with me? We're so quick to do that. And it's because we put so much on our plates to get done in any given day. So just do 2 or 3 things, get that done, reward yourself, pat yourself on the back, give yourself a bubble bath, and the next day will take care of itself.
That is so true. Thank you so much for answering that, because we're our own worst critic, right? Critic rather. So, I mean, I could attest to that too. Sometimes I beat myself up, and you guys know, like, I need to give myself grace sometimes. And there's a lot of people who think that, because we reach a certain age, that time is running away from us. But you did answer correctly. Just give ourselves some grace and just pat ourselves on the back. And
Yes.
hey, tomorrow will be another day. Okay, you can't pack everything in just one day.
Absolutely.
Right, exactly. And I have one more question. So, how does your Feel Great protocol stand out from traditional health programs?
Oh, what I truly love about it is just food. Many people are taking so many different supplements, and it's so very noisy out there. What should I do? Should I take this? Should I eat this? What should I do? So because of all of the noise that's out there, this stands above the rest because it's just food, and it's very simple. It is tea and it is fiber. We know that they've taken so much fiber out of our foods, so we don't have it. We don't eat enough fiber. So adding that fiber back in really has helped so many people. I love the fact that I have thousands and thousands of stories that many people can relate to, so that can show them that this really, really works. So this stands out for me above the rest.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for that. That's
I
all.
love that. I love that. So I know when you were on our show the last time, you were getting ready to launch this whole like academy, doing your thing, right? So I'm loving life. So now you've actually launched. Tell us more about that.
Oh my goodness, it has been amazing. I've always wanted to have something, a space for women that we can stop for that moment and take in, enjoy, ground yourself, and then recollect and reset, which is what it's called, the reset circle. I wanted to be able to have women be able to reset themselves, because we go and we're going and we're going and we're going, and we do not get a chance to collect ourselves, ground ourselves, and say, okay, what have I accomplished? What do I need to next do? So with the reset circle, it's been working so well. Every day I send a message out to the women, and I get a reply all the time. Oh, I really needed this. I stopped. I did take a deep breath. And because we're working on too is also eating properly. And it's not so much weight loss that we're working on. Some are working on weight loss, but it's not totally about weight loss. It's really identifying how our association is with food. Many of us are emotional eaters and different things like that, but we have been able to identify what it actually is that's causing us. We've gone through several layers. What causes you to stand in front of that refrigerator and eat the things that you know you should not have eaten that whole cake, eating the whole pie, or eating a whole sleeve of Oreo cookies? What caused you to do that? So we've been able to, right?
I know what. I think it's called parasites.
Right? Some of it is. But what caused you to do that in the first place? So we've identified different emotions that you may experience. And some emotions can't even be happy. Because when we think of emotions, we think, okay, yeah, that made me sad. Or yeah, I was depressed about that. But happiness is an emotion as well. So there could be just some things that you're happy about, and you may run in that refrigerator and you're happy and you eat all that ice cream. So it's identifying that, but also identifying it to a point where you stop, identifying what's happening. You stop, you take in a deep breath first, drink water first, maybe walk outside and ground yourself. I love walking out into the grass with bare feet and just ground yourself outside for a minute. We're not talking about taking half an hour, the hours, just 1 to 2 minutes of being able to do that. So the way I've been getting really great feedback from the women in our class, and it has been awesome. It's been so good. And I didn't realize, I wanted it to be this way, but I didn't really, you know how when you start something, you're like, okay, I want it to be like this, but is it going to really be like this? And it has been really good. I've been getting great feedback. So it's been a wonderful, wonderful journey so far.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. What are some of the key elements that a person needs to reset? Like, how do we do that? What does that look like?
What that look like is really one major key element is a deep breath. Just taking in a deep breath. And we've learned it's called box breathing. There's a couple different types of breathings that you can have, but what we work on is box breathing and controlling that breath. So one of the key elements is really just breathing, because we have found that when you stop with whatever it might be, if you just stop for a moment and take in that deep breath, just like what you were saying with the road rage, if you would just stop for a moment, take a deep breath, relax, and just say, okay, let me figure out what's going on right now. And then you will be in a whole different mindset and you don't realize it. But if you just do it once, and what I have my ladies do is say, I have them doing that. I'll say, just do it that one time. And now they do it all of the time. So, you know, once they have done that and they've taken that deep breath and they realize how it makes them feel, because at first you think, you know, I breathe all the time. You know, I wouldn't be alive if I'm not breathing. So you don't realize, though, stopping and controlling, concentrating on that breath and take in a deep breath and let it out and just ground yourself. Then you realize it really resets your whole mindset. And that is one key element that we have learned. Several, but that's one key element that we're learning.
I love that. And you're right about the breathing. People say, oh yeah, I breathe all the time. But many of us are not breathing effectively or even the right way. A lot of us are chest breathers, right? We're up here. But you really should be breathing like with your tummies, a diaphragm, right? That's how babies breathe. When you watch a baby, you know, to sleep and you look, it's their tummies, right? That are kind of doing the whole inflating, deflating. It's not, we breathe with the chest, but when you breathe with the diaphragm, you're really inflating those lungs, right? To be able to take on the oxygen that's needed to, right? Oxygenate our blood and all that stuff that make us feel really good. So I love that about breathing. It's very, very important. And I just love what you're doing with women. I get the text messages that come in, because I remember we were like testing out like the system and stuff. And so I was doing beta testing, right? But
Yes.
I get those messages each morning, and they're positive and they're good and they're bright. And a lot of times people just need that. You just need that positive, that little pick me up to kind of get you through your day. Because a lot of times the people that you're expecting to get that pick me up from, it doesn't come from them. It doesn't come from the significant other. It doesn't come from the mom, the dad, whomever, but just a little text message, from the wellness, with Warlesea. It comes through. You're like, I can guarantee, like, without clockwork, it's going to come in at 8:00 every time, and you can get excited about some things. I love that.
Yes. I love it. I love the feedback. I really, really do. It is great.
That's amazing. I love that. Yes. I just want to follow up on the first question that Nadine had asked initially about, and then your response with regards to people always having too much to do and just being mindful of doing a few tasks a day, right?
Yes.
But for a person like me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, right? It's one of those things where it's like, I feel everything's important. So for a person that's similar to me, many people struggle with setting priorities.
Yes.
I've gone to the point where I already know first, second, third, like that's just me, but I'm just using myself as an example to relate to people. What advice would you give to help someone figure out what tasks to tackle first, second, third in each day? Because in their mind or in their world, everything is high priority.
Right. I got you. And that is so funny that you asked me that, because I did do a one-on-one with someone who was saying that same thing. And she was like, I know what you're saying. I need to just do 2 or 3 things, but I truly feel that everything that I got to get done today is important. So she actually said that to me. So what we did, some people are okay with just an overview of saying, okay, just make 2 or 3 things. Some people really need to write things out. So, and I'm good with that as well. I can be digital or handwritten. I can have a book. I can, however you want to keep a calendar. For her, it was necessary to write things out. So once we wrote things down and we figured out, okay, how important this is, whatever that item was that needed to get done, we're going to write out how important that is, because you also have to focus on, if it does not get done, how bad is that? What is it going to do for you, your life, your family, if you don't, or your job, your work? If you do not get this particular thing done today, will it be okay? So those are the things that we had to go over and discuss with all the things that she had. So this wasn't a 5-minute conversation. So with all the things that she had going on in her life, we literally had to write things down and figure out, if you do not get this done today, how bad will that be? And we figured out a lot of it, that even though she felt all these things were so very important and really needed to get done today, once we itemized everything out and broke it out on a spreadsheet and figured out what needs to really get done, how important this was, how important that was, then she figured out, well, you know what? I usually do this on Mondays, and I always feel like it got to be done on Mondays. But if it's done by Wednesday, it's okay. So she was able to move things around and not have her Mondays be, for her Mondays were so crowded with so much stuff that needed to get done. So she realized, okay, that Monday thing could be done Wednesday. And then she realized there was a Monday thing that could be done Friday. So we were able to move things around, but she really felt, and I think for her, it was just because she had gotten into the habit of doing things at a certain time, a certain day. Got to do this Monday, because on Tuesday I got to do this, and on Wednesday I got to do that. So we were able to just move things around, but we needed to write out everything that she had to do each day, every day. So we were able to move things around, and it actually smoothed some time out, because you don't realize you do have some downtime in your day. You don't realize it. Sometimes you don't. But if you've ever found yourself maybe, have your phone and you're just scrolling through, and then you look back at the time, you're like, oh, it's been a half an hour that I've just been scrolling, laughing at funny memes or whatever the case may be. But a half an hour or even 45 minutes may have gone by. But so, there is some time throughout your day. Not saying that you got to use that 45 minutes for something very, very productive, but you do have time in your day where there's some downtime. But because you're planning your day so much, you don't feel you got 10 minutes out of your day to do anything. But once you write it, once we wrote for her, once we wrote everything down, we found some free time. We found, a lot of stuff in her days that she could get done some things. So
that is awesome.
And Jessie, I'm not saying that all the things that you're doing is not as important, but you would just have to go through everything and figure out what really need to get done that day and what can be pushed to Tuesdays or Wednesdays or Thursdays and things like that.
Yeah, so what I did is very similar to what you just shared. This has been working for me. So I write everything down, everything I need to do, and it has the timeline. So this needs to be done by blah 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 date.
Yes.
Da, da, da. So I put all the dates, and then I shuffle. So it says, okay, the date is March 26th. April 15th is coming, so that goes first. Then we have this. Then I prioritize. So I list everything, then I prioritize by dates, and then if something urgent comes up, depending on the task item, then I reshuffle, but give myself enough a buffer to get everything done. So
this is absolutely amazing. That's very good. That's exactly what we did for her. But because when you're in it, when you are inside of the situation, you don't always see it like that. And as mothers, you can probably attest to that. If you have a friend of yours that say, oh, my son he's this, he's that, and you can tell her, oh, this is what you need to do. You need to do this and you need to do that. And you're very quick to say what she will need to do because you're not in that situation. But if it's you, and I know I found myself, I can give so much advice about kids and things. And then when it's my child, I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? I am clueless as to what I need to get done that day. And that's because it's you. You are inside of that situation and you're just like, oh my God, what do I do now? But if you were not, you would be able to give so much feedback on what needs to be done. So
yeah, it's interesting how most operate that way, isn't it?
Right?
So with this, go ahead.
No, I was saying that's it. That's so true. I was sitting here thinking myself, it's like I have all the solutions, the game plan, everything for everybody else. I can see their life from the day they were born to the day they're gonna die. We can work it all out. But for myself, it's like, how do I do that?
Yeah.
Like you just forget. You're just like, I don't know. What do I do for a common cold? What do I do?
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. We are all like that. Believe me.
You're just hard on yourself. That's what it is.
Yeah, most of us, unfortunately, are hard on ourselves, which leads me to the next question, right? Because so many women struggle to prioritize themselves without guilt. So how can women begin to reclaim their voice, power, and identity? What would be your or suggestion, words of wisdom?
Yes. Well, that is so very important because that was something big or huge, actually, that I had to work on. And it's because of being a mother and wife and woman, period, we're nurturers. So we don't always think of ourselves first. We're always, this got to get done, that got to get done. Even our friends, we will do for them before we do for ourselves. But it's not until you really start focusing on you. And the one major thing that I can say is when you think about on the airplane, when they say, you put the mask on yourself first before you can put it on anyone else. If you can start living by that, then you will be able to focus on yourself, acquire all the things that you need. Because I am a giver. I love giving. I love doing things for other people. But I have to realize that I wouldn't be able to do that. I'm not able to give from something empty. I can't pour out of an empty cup. So I have to focus on me. I have to focus on myself. I've just created a mindset within myself that this is something that I have to do in order to do for others. So when I am speaking with someone just like me, when I'm speaking with someone else, I really help her to focus on your need to help others because that's what she wants to do. She wants to help others. She wants to do for others. And I focus on that. And I tell her, you need to do this for other people. You have to be there. You have to be present for your husband or be present for your partner, be present for your children, your parents, or whomever else did you have to take care of. You need to be present, right? You need to be there for them, correct? And they're like, oh, yeah. So I'm like, well, you got to do for you. You got to think about yourself first, which goes against all the grain inside of you. but you gotta think of you first in order for you to be around and be there for whoever it is that you need to be around and be there for. So hopefully to answer your question, because I feel like I went off on another tangent.
No, you were good, and I love that. And I like, especially, it's just like this whole epiphany, like that aha moment that I had when you were speaking, and just to talk to clients, right? Trying to get them to progress to the next stage or achieve the next goal or whatever it is. I say start with your family first. Because your family is like the hardest critics, right? They're going to be like on you, like white on rice. They're going to give you the hardest time. If you can start, and you should start with family first, right? Because caring for others starts with the family first. And so if you can listen to and be present, like you said, with that family member, that husband, that wife, that child, whomever, cousin, aunt, don't matter. Just pick one, okay? But get a family, all right? And see what you can do for them and how you can help them, because they're really going to prepare you for the real world. I find that with them myself. And, I'm a believer. So, the Lord and me, we be talking all the time. And God said to me, all right, he said, Sandra, he didn't say it quite like that. He did say Sandra. And he was like, whatever you do, right? Like whether I'm doing good, whether I'm doing bad, whether I'm obeying, whether I'm disobeying, whatever I do, my children are going to do. So he was like, get it right with me and you first, and then your child. Like, and I seen it, y'all. I seen it when I began to just like obey and do what I was supposed to do. Keep my first
big lesson to learn.
My children were aligning and doing what they would like. I would say, do this one time, and they would do it. You know what I'm saying? I would have to be like, do this or else I'm going to take away your video. I'm going to take away your phone. I didn't have to do any of that because I was aligned. And so putting it back to the family, start with a family member, y'all, or start with somebody that was not a yes man or a yes woman. Somebody that's going to tell you no, somebody that's going to push back. And that's really going to help sharpen and strengthen and challenge you, right, to be better. So I love that you said that, the whole putting on your oxygen first before you can help somebody else, because that is really, truly the case. And if you can win with your family and get just one person, I'm not saying take them all on, they're going to wear you out, okay?
No, you are so right, Cece, when you say that, because it was my husband. I literally would have to put him in a headlock and waterboard him. For him to take the natural things and to do the product that I was giving and helping so many people with. Their complaints were his complaints, and I was able to help them. But then I'm like, I gotta help my husband. I'm like, he's right here with me, and I want him to be right here with me forever. So I needed to help him. So in the beginning, it was headlock waterboarding. But then he got it. But just like you said, though, Cece, I just kept doing what I needed to do. And he saw me getting better. He saw my migraines going away. He saw that I wasn't dealing with sciatica pain and my A1C levels dropping, weight dropping, all those things. He was just seeing that. And then he was like, make me one of those things, pour me one. Let me just, how does that taste? So I was like, whatever way you need to do it, you do it. And so now he's doing good. He's run marathons. He's dropped weight. His blood pressure is regulated like a teenager's. So he's doing really well. But just like you said, though, Cece, it was just like, you know what? Let me just stop waterboarding and just let him see me doing it. And it happens with the kids as well. So that does work with the kids.
Yeah, I still need to get mine. I'll definitely be hitting you up about that.
Yes. It's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey with this, because as you know, I've been a health and wellness coach for over 2 decades. And I truly now have something that I can really help people with. And when you were talking about the allergies, that's metabolic dysfunction as well. So we have so many people that are metabolically dysfunctional. I was that. It's 93% of American adults are metabolically unhealthy. They're insulin resistant. And I thought I was not that part of that. I thought I wasn't in that 93%. But there's 80% of people that do not even realize they're part of that 93%. And there I was. I was part of that that did not realize that I was in that 93% of people that were metabolically unhealthy. I had skin tags that fell off, and my migraines, all those things had to do with metabolic dysfunction. Allergies as well has a lot to do with metabolic dysfunction. I've been able to help clients that were on CPAP machines. They're no longer, and that's not sexy to sleep with CPAP machines. So, right, husband and wives were like, oh, we look crazy going to bed. So now they are not on CPAP machines anymore. And it's just it's wonderful. It's a wonderful, wonderful feeling, and a feeling of fulfillment to be able to say, hey, I got something that can help you. I got something to help you. Don't worry about it. And it truly helps, and it's guaranteed. So it truly, truly, truly helps so many people. And I have it in my hand, and I love it. I love that. And to get the feedback is wonderful. It's wonderful.
So I have a question. So what tests do you run to identify those issues with clients? Because of course, everybody's different. They're all going to have different ailments and things.
This is the actual test. I will read to them things that are metabolic dysfunctional. I'll ask them things that I'm going to read to you different things. And I'm going to say, hey, are you dealing with any of these things, or anybody that's dealing with these things? Inflammation, neuropathy, PCOS, IBS, leaky gut, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, constant cravings, belly fat, heart disease, migraines, high blood pressure, as already mentioned, constant fatigue, fatty livers, Alzheimer's, skin tags, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, brain fog, obesity, diabetes, erectile dysfunction. So I'll go through those, and there's many more, but I'll go through all of those things, and I'll ask them, do you see yourself in any of the things that I mentioned? And lots and lots of people will say, you mentioned 2 or 3 or 4 things on that list that I am suffering from personally, or they know someone who is. Even if they only have the one thing or 2 things, they'll say my husband or my wife or my children or my grandparents or my parents or whomever are also suffering from these things. And not because we did not know that it's all because of insulin resistance, all because we're metabolically dysfunctional. But that's the test that I run, Nadine.
That's just similar to an allergy test, but just
right. Yeah, because they poke you with all those things. Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's what I do. I go through that, and I say, what do you resonate with, or what popped out to you, and then they'll tell me, and we'll work with it.
Okay, awesome. And so it sounds like from there, that's where your whatever program or course of action you and that client would take, we could just progress from there. Is that how that process goes with working?
Right.
Working with you?
Yeah, then we'll work together with that, because for one thing, like gut issues, if they have gut issues, our fiber is very, very potent. So I know if they tell me they're having gut issues, I know that they can only do a little bit at a time to get the fiber into their bodies, because we're so depleted of fiber. We're so depleted of a lot of good food. So even if you eat good or eat well, that may not agree with your system, because your system is just not used to that. So then this is why we have this conversation ahead of time, because then I can say, okay, then you need to take only a quarter of a pack or maybe a half a pack for a few days, just to introduce it to your system. And then within 3 days or so, my husband had to do that. He had to do half a pack for 2 days. And then after that, he was fine. But it was just that you have to introduce it to your system. So that's why we do have that question answer in the beginning.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Nadine, I have another question for our guest. Did you have any more for her before I ask mine?
No, I do not. No, ma'am. No,
awesome. All right, so your nonprofit Take Flight supports women, children, and pets escaping abuse. So what inspired you to create this mission?
Well, it was a personal aspiration of mine, because I too grew up in a very abusive household, and we would leave, we would come back, we would leave, he would find us, and we would have to come back home to just more and more abuse. So I said, when I grew up or when I got older, and if I ever, at the time I would say, because I wasn't thinking nonprofit very early on. But I would say if I knew somebody that need to get away, I would make sure they get away and that he doesn't know where they are and they'll be in a very safe place. Well, that's where Take Flight came into place in my my prayers, and it just came to fruition. And I said, you know what, I'm going to create a nonprofit where we can have housing for women that need to get out of an abusive situation, but not only for themselves, of course, for their children. But what I found in doing some research is that women will stay in abusive relationships if they have a pet that have been their companion, because even if they don't have children, they may stay in that relationship because they don't have anywhere for their pet to go. So they will stay in that situation. And sadly, I have an example of a woman that ended up leaving her boyfriend, but he knew that her dog was very, very close to her, and he shot and killed her dog. Yeah. And that was the saddest situation, besides just being abused herself. But that was a sad situation, but he knew how close she was to that dog. So we not only provide a space, a getaway for the mom that's going through that, but their children and their pets. And we take care of them as well. So there was no excuse for you not getting away from the person who's abusing you.
Mm.
Yeah. And then we have schooling and all kinds of things for their kids and for themselves if they want to go back and get their not points. What am I trying to say? Their credits. If they want to go back and get their credits and things like that, they can do that. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's amazing. No, and I apologize. I wasn't, I didn't want to interrupt you either. So for people that want to support this mission or get involved, because this is deep, and I'm sure the audience and listeners want to say, like, hey, how can I help? How can I support?
Right. That's so important. And we really, really appreciate that. It is takeflightusa.org. Takeflightusa.org. If they go there, they can support us. And we do need support because we do have women that are on the waiting list because we need to get space for them. So we have a couple women right now that are on the waiting list. And I hate them being on the waiting list because in the meantime, things always escalate, and we need to get them out of the situation fast. So takeflightusa.org. Thank you for putting that there. And if anybody wants to help and donate, please, we need the help. We need it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Cynthia, did you have any other questions for our guest before we transition to last minute words?
No, you've just been wonderful. And I just want to, harp on that, encourage people to, donate to takeflightusa.org, because the very life that, the organization that you donate to is going to be a life that you save for a family, right? To have a better life. We were talking earlier about these broken homes. And so we want to stop that, and Take Flight can help do that, to get families out of these broken homes and to start over again and to build a firm, clear, safe, loving foundation. Definitely go out to donate to takeflightusa.org. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me again for part 2. I really, really appreciate it. I love you ladies. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Amazing. Yes, absolutely. But don't go anywhere, because we still got our last minute words. But first, I want to say thank you for being our special guest. This is the closing for March, right? Because this was Women's History Month, and we're perfect to join us, and that we appreciate that you were able to join us last minute. As we close Women's History Month, we honor the strength, resilience, the brilliance of women, including you, what you do for so many people, so many men, women, children, pets, right? And whether it be past, present, or future, or even here, having my 2 amazing co-hosts, Dr. Ciandra and the amazing Nadine, we continue to rise. May we continue to rise and support each other and walk boldly in our purpose. So here is to breaking barriers, and this is me, my little wine glass toast, to breaking barriers, owning our voices, and creating a lasting impact, that legacy that's going to continue because of each and every one of us, right? Yesterday was history. Today we're present. Yesterday was history, and each and every one of us were part of that history. right? The lives that impacted. So cheers, toast, and to all the amazing women. Yes. So with that, we're going to go on a quick sponsor break. Don't go anywhere because we are going to come back with last minute words. Hoy En Dia TV, just right here. No te vayas. We'll be right back. Okay.
Sponsored by Collective Wear, available at www.yessierodriguez.com/shop and myrod-enterprise.com/shop.
At Cab Zenza, we believe beauty is a ritual, not just a routine. Rooted in intention and inspired by nature, our skincare is crafted to nourish more than just the skin. It nourishes the spirit. Every jar is made with purpose. Because when you flourish inside, it shows on the outside. Cab Zenza's isn't skincare, soul care.
From the moment that I put this Cab Zenza on my skin, it feels most amazing. As you can see, it has your skin glistening, it's moisturizing. You too should get Cab Zenza.
Luxurious body butters.
Sponsored by Divine Beauty and Accessories. Watch Hoy En Dia TV, Thursday, 7:30 p.m.
Yes.
You sent me backstage and my thing disappeared. I don't know what happened. I didn't touch it. I'm like, what's going on with my screen?
I didn't send you backstage, sis. That's weird. I just literally pressed the option to go on commercial. I don't know what happened.
That's
you want me
crazy.
I can take you backstage if you want, so you can fix it. Here, let me take you backstage. We'll be right back. All right. So our last minute words. Well, it looks like Nadine, she got it back together. There she is. Hey, it's okay. I don't know what happened, right? This is what technology does. They try to mess us up, but guess what? It ain't gonna happen. Psych. Joke's on you, all right, technology. Hey. All right, last minute words. This is an opportunity for you to remind people who you are, what you do, where they can find you, follow you, work with you. If you have an inspirational message or quote, whatever your heart desire, whatever God downloads in your spirit to say, this is your opportunity to do that. And for you to get a glimpse at how that looks, I'm going to have Cece start us off. Then we'll have Warlesea. You'll go next. Then we have Nadine, and I'll close out with last minute words.
Fantastic. So, hey, I'm your girl, Sandra, the Actions with Inspire for Purpose and Girls with Gigs. Check me out on www.girlswithgigs.com or inspireforpurpose.com. Remember, nothing positive ever came from negative thinking. And as I always like to say, love and light and inspire for purpose.
That is beautiful. Yes, my name is Warlesea Fatta, and I am Wellness with Warlesea, and I inspire women to get their health back, take back their health and their words. And what I like to say to women, any women that's listening, you are seen, you are worthy, you are powerful beyond what you've been told. So it's your time, it's your year. Take it. And I can be found at warlesea.com.
Hey guys, so as you know, my name is Nadine Barton, and on the screen you could find me on Instagram, NadiaB_1202. You could check out my books on nadinebarton.com, NADEANBARTON.com, and author, entrepreneur, travel agent. If you like to book that trip, hit me up. Summertime is coming. I know it's crazy right now, but it's about to calm down, I'm telling you. So anyway, but like I always say, life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react. So treat people kind and how you want to be treated.
Yes, I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Another amazing episode. I'm always truly grateful to have Hoy En Dia, to have these amazing guests, to have my amazing co-host. I mean, hey, this is why we do it. Estamos aquí para la gente, for the people. This is our motto, right? This is what we strive for, to positively motivate, enlighten, inspire, educate, and entertain the viewers and listeners with each and every episode. And I know we did that today. And we closed out Women's History strong, Women's History Month. But guess what? April is knocking at the door. So we're going to have many more amazing topics. And don't worry, men, we're going to honor you in June. Okay, so just a heads up in case the men are like, well, what about the men? June is coming. We know we got Father's Day. Although I did just research, although June is not officially like Men's History Month, we're gonna make it here at Hoy En Dia the unofficial Men's History Month. We're gonna start that new trend to say June will be the unofficial, hopefully one day in the future official Men's History Month in honor of Father's Day. So yes. And I know we get Mother's Day too. I get it, right? Men are like, what about the women? They get all these holidays. Well, guess what? We bear children. I'm just saying. Anyway. I'm saying. So nevertheless, for those who want to find me, follow me. My name is Yessie Rodriguez. You can go on Google, type in YESSE Rodriguez, and then voila, you'll see my social medias, my website, yessierodriguez.com. Also, for those who want to find past episodes or where they can hear Hoy En Dia TV, so whatever your favorite browser is, whether it be Google, Safari, Edge, Internet Explorer, type in Hoy En Dia podcast, and once you do that, voila, you're going to see all the different places. So Spotify, Amazon Music, Samsung Music, Apple Music, and there's a whole other list of a bunch of them that I can't think of right now. Because there's like, I would say about 20 or more, which is a blessing, right? Thank God we are a worldwide platform. And also, for those who want to be a guest on Hoy En Dia or want to sponsor or donate to Hoy En Dia, you can also, there's an email at the bottom, hoyendiatv@gmail.com. Simply reach out and put your subject line, and then I'll reach out to you or someone from the team. So, yes, but thank you all so much. Another amazing episode. And never forget that the sky is never the limit, because the galaxy is endless. So, thank you all for tuning in. Until next time.